I wanted to show first like some different examples of this format of an 8-page folded zine. So the formats that I'm showing today are meant to be, yeah, Eliza is playing Mahjong probably, that with the single sheet formats, something nice about these formats is that they're actually easier to make copies of, and like you can fold anyways, that you can, maybe I'll stop there. I'll just do this and then we'll talk about it a bit more later. But I guess like, so this is a single sheet of paper that Morgan C created, this zine that is about Nelson Henricks. And I love this zine so much. And it is a risograph work that you made out of your drawings and text, I think, yeah. But as you can see with this format, you can have a front cover, a back cover, and then you can kind of navigate through sequentially, like just in a fixed order if you'd like, and then there you go. But like, I guess like sometimes people have a blank other side, like back side of the sheet, and then if you would like to, you can also, there's sometimes like this, which is interesting too. This is Tommy Parrish, who made this, which is a risograph comic that you can't probably see very well because it's a little blurry, I guess. But there's this possibility that if you wanted to open up the back as a full-size poster, that sometimes people use the back of this format as a large poster sort of reveal. And then we'll just go ahead, or I can just go ahead and show this. So anyways, you could take a piece of paper if you have one nearby. And sorry for, I'm like scratching as if no one can hear or see. Anyways, you can take this piece of paper and then you could just fold it. I'll do it so that it's landscape format, like the long way horizontally. And maybe I'll do, I always get mixed up about which way to fold first. So I'll fold it this way first, like from top to bottom, to make this long skinny fold. Then I'm gonna unfold it and then fold it the other way, like so, just making a kind of, anyways, I'm at a loss about, for some reason today, about how to describe this. Then while it's still folded, I'll fold it in half once more. And then open it part way. So doing this folding is a way of basically just determining the pages or panels of your 8-page zine. And there's one type of format that if you want to just leave it at that, you can. Like this is what I did together with Eliza. Like we made this 8-page zine that is, it's basically like 2 accordion stories. Like they are lines of text that complete, like it's like 1 sentiment or 1 series of, yeah, related to 1 thought. And then on another side, and then a full-sized poster. So yeah, so then anyways, you can have that where you don't cut the paper, but I'll just use this red Sharpie just to make it a little more visible here. But you don't have to draw this, by the way. I'm just drawing this as a way of showing you that we're going to cut a line here. So this is on the folded side of the sheet of paper, and that's the open side. So then I'm just going to use, you can use a ruler and an X-Acto knife to cut that if you want, or you can use a pair of scissors, like whatever you might have at hand. Or if you have neither of those, like then you could also use the uncut format, I guess. So anyways, then now we have this format that has a slit in the middle. And I'm just going to fold it so that it's back into this long and skinny format here. I'll stand it upright so we kind of see this diamond shape. And then I'll just push it into itself. So I'm going to just flatten it and then decide like which side of it I want to be the cover, like the front cover and back cover. And then that's it. Like that's your tiny, I mean, it might be a huge sheet of paper that you started with, but your book that you just made that is maybe blank like mine still. So that's one, that's called an 8-page folded zine, unless somebody has a more interesting name for it, or maybe there are other names. There's a variation, so maybe I'll show you the variation of it quickly. Basically you would just go through the same folding methods. Oh, why don't I, yeah, here, I'll just continue. By the way, I guess I just did a different, like I'll just do the long fold first. Then unfold it, fold this in half. And then I'll fold this in half again, and let me know if I'm going a bit fast or slow, or if I'm not making, like if you have any questions also. So here I'm going to cut this again. I might as well just draw this. So I will cut the folded side just as I did with the previous zine. And then the variation of this is that it's called a T-cut. So the thing that you would have, like this is more of a format that you could have like a sort of a format that opens so that it keeps on opening deeper and deeper into the format, if that makes sense. Like so this kind of opens up into like a set of doors in a way, and then you could just, yeah, kind of carry the narrative in a different sort of direction, if that makes sense. So let me just unfold this. Yeah, so the only difference is this cut here, which I will do here just to show you. So I'm just drawing that just, I don't know, just to show you where I'll cut. Just cut that. Yeah, so I guess it's called a T cut because this is a like kind of a T shape. And then you could just fold this. Like, so I guess this all kind of folds in towards the middle. And then it's up to you. Like, I guess sometimes you may find that like you could fold it this way, or you could have all of the openings folded and kept inside of the book, like sort of more contained or something like that. So it depends on how you want to arrange the sequence of content and so on. Oh, sorry, I think there's someone with a question. Vicky, sorry about that.
I was just wondering if you can go a bit slower. I have
sure. I'm sorry.
Divergent, and so all of these like different folding is really confusing me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I think I went fast just out of nervousness. Sure. Okay. Would you like? I could show one of those again, or
yeah, if you can just, I did the first one. I just wanted to make sure that I understand how the second one
works. Sure. So maybe I'll actually just grab the first one, if this is the right one. Yeah, this is the first one that I have. So I'm just gonna, it's basically created in the same way as the first one was, but the only difference is that after cutting the middle cut, I'm just going to make one more cut here in the middle vertically. And then that ends up kind of making like this, like a letter T roughly. And then you could, then I guess maybe it's easier if I rotate it this way. So I'll just fold this downwards and I end up with like a kind of a long skinny format. And I haven't, like, I guess like I've seen this in a book about bookbinding, and I guess like how they had folded it was just to kind of push everything towards the center, like so just kind of taking this bunch of pages and then folding inwards this way, and then same with like the other side, you would just fold towards the center as well, like and then I think like the last step is sort of optional. Like you could either kind of leave it as is, or else you could fold it closed, either like this way, like closing everything into the center. Or if you want, it could also kind of be a bit like, I don't know, a little bit of a sort of like zigzag or accordion kind of format as well. Like, so I feel like there's different options depending on how you want the reader or viewer to come across the work in a way, or what makes sense in terms of like handling the structure for your particular project. Yeah, I hope, was that a bit, that's okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you for saying that, by the way, sorry. And the next two exercises or zine formats I'll do are, they're going to be square format zines. So one of them, like, I guess in order to have a square, there's a couple ways we could do this, which is just like maybe the fastest way, or like might be just to fold this into a triangle. Like, so just taking your rectangular paper and then cutting, or sorry, folding a sort of a triangle like this. So that basically, like, then I'm just going to remove this part that is just sticking out past the triangle, and I'll end up with a square. So either scissors or X-Acto knife, or also if you want to just fold and tear, you could as well. Like, so yeah, however you feel comfortable. Maybe I'll use like an X-Acto knife on this. All right, I think I need to just look at something because I forgot. Here, just pull this up. Yeah. All right, so maybe I'll go back here. Yeah, so this one is called a Turkish map fold, or it's also sometimes called a lotus fold. I don't even know if it's Turkish in origin, but to make this, we would need this this diagonal line that I just folded, but we'll also make another diagonal line in the other direction. So I'm just going to fold this in half in that other direction here. And then once you do that, you can fold the paper in half, like to create a rectangle. Yeah. And this part, I'll maybe tilt this upright, like just because I feel like it might be easier to show it in this way. Like, oops, sorry, I've done something with my screen. So what I'll do is I have these two, or I should say, I have this big triangle format in the middle of this piece of paper. And what I want to do is take this part here and then kind of just, I'll pinch up here at the top, like the folded side. And then I'm going to just take this and then try to like push it on into the inside of this structure. Yeah, so I kind of have like this arrowy sort of structure, I guess. Does that make sense? Or it's sort of, I find, yeah, it's okay. And then I'll do the same on the other side. So maybe just holding it upright, like, or I'll do this and then hold it upright. And I want to just take this middle section here and then push it inside of the structure. So I end up having like this kind of huge triangle, or if I put this standing upright, it's kind of like this, I don't know, an X shape, I guess. And the next step would be just to take the triangles that are at the side, like, so maybe just taking these pointy parts and then folding these so that like I can sort of vaguely see the middle of the triangle here. And I'm going to just fold these so that they roughly meet up into the middle of the structure. And it's okay if it's a little bit off as well. Like, so I'll do that to the opposing side as well. What it ends up with or as is sort of like this, it's kind of ends up looking like a house structure in some way. So I'll just, I'll keep it like that and then I'll flip it over to the other side. And I'm going to just do this, like I'll do the same on the other side, which is just taking the tips of the triangle and then folding it towards the middle part of this structure here.
When you're folding it over, is it like, are you folding the entire
oh, I'm
like instead of just like one pane, do you know what I mean? Like, is the whole thing being brought in?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I think so basically there's like the two different flaps in a way, like
and I don't have that on.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Maybe, do you think you could hold it up a bit, or if you don't mind?
Like, I have it.
Yeah. Like, oh, that looks good. Yeah.
Like this, but I don't. Yeah. Oh, I guess now I do. I can fold it.
That looks good. Okay. Like, I think the only step next is like, or not only, but the next step would be just to take the tip of the triangle and of one side of the triangle and then just sort of fold it towards the center here.
And then do it on the other side?
Yeah, so then it'll be on the other side and then I'll flip it over and do the same thing so that I end up with kind of like this house structure, or from an aerial perspective, it sort of looks like that, or it looks like that. It doesn't sort of look like that. Yeah.
Okay. I think I have it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks. Yeah, so this next step is kind of similar to what we had done in some way. Well, here, I'll just say that this is the next step that we, so like this is all folded together. And then I'm just going to open this up again. And then maybe from the aerial perspective, like from this side view, it's better. So it's open up as one point of the triangle. And I'm just going to take this and push it inside, which I think might be a little bit hard to see. I don't know if that made sense. So rather than the fold being on the outside, it's actually tucked inside here. And then we could do that to all four sides. Like I'll just unfold the tip and then push this inside of the structure.
Sorry, so you're pushing it inside itself, right?
Yeah.
Like it's collapsing.
Yeah, inside of itself. I'm doing a messy job of it. And then I'll flip it over to the other side. And then just repeat, like, so I'll just push this inside here. Maybe I'll lift it up so it's a bit clearer. And then this here. So just unfolding and then pushing this inside of itself. Yeah, so this is actually a structure that sometimes is used for like tiny fold up maps. So I guess that's where it got its name. Did everyone get this? It's okay. Yeah. That looks good. Yeah, so what I like about this structure is that it kind of breaks things away from pure rectangles all the time. And I'll show you this, like there's also like this kind of interesting thing. So this is one square sheet of paper that kind of like you can have the perhaps like possibly you could call this the front and back cover if you want, and it opens up to the inside. But you can also have, like, I could glue, we don't have to do that today, but I could just glue two of them together, like just by covering this with glue. And then I have two or even three of them together. So if I do that, like then I'll have this structure that just opens up, and it looks very complicated, but it's actually just like the repetition of that same lotus fold structure over and over again. And then I guess like if you're trying to put your content into the structure, like maybe you could still think of it as panels, like square or rectangular panels if you'd like, or maybe sometimes people might actually trace the shapes of that are created by the fold lines, or you might just decide like forget about the fold lines or forget about any of the panels. Like I'll just cover it as however, in a way, like, yeah. So that's that one. I'll maybe show one more and then we could move to like a drawing and kind of writing exercise. And so for this last one, it's actually like, here, I'm just going to try to find something. It's called a 9-page meander zine or meander book. Like, so it comes in a square format, and it's basically ends up looking like this. Like, so I have this as a sort of square format comic, I guess. And then it kind of just, like in this like this layout, I just had it so that the panels, you kind of sort of rotate the structure each time that you're opening up a new set of pages. So you can really play with like the orientation of the panels, which is what makes it have the name Meander book. So that's one single sheet of paper, and then this one happens to just be on all the content on one side of the sheet of paper, although I've seen people put content on both sides as well. So what we'll do is we would need to have a square sheet of paper, or I think you might be able to make it without with rectangular panels, but I'll just do a square because of uncertainty and not wanting to test something right now. So you could either do that thing that we did with the last one, which was creating the triangular fold to make a square sheet of paper, or if you want, you could just measure both, like to make sure that you have equal sides on your sheet of paper. And then I'll just X-Acto this, like cut this, in other words. I didn't. Okay, so for this, I'm actually not going to bother to try to measure it because I feel like the purpose of it is more just to give an idea of the general structure rather than to try to make it very like exact and so on. What I do is I will make this into like 3 columns and also 3 rows. So we'll end up with like a square thing of 9 different panels. To do that, I'm just going to eyeball. So yeah, you could actually measure this. And like, I guess when I'm making my zines, I tend to get kind of particular about measurements and stuff, but I'm just going to really like eyeball this by, I just kind of pushed one thing into the other, one side into the other, and then just sort of rolled it around until it felt more or less equal as three partition or three columns, I guess. And then I'll rotate it, and then I'm going to try to do the same thing on the other side. Like, so just kind of, again, with eyeballing or touching estimate technique, like, so just kind of rolling this around until it more or less feels equal, and then just flatten it. So whoops, I guess that was really uneven. Maybe I'll just try to fix this slightly. Yeah, so that's pretty uneven, but oh well, I'll forgive myself, I guess. Like, so anyways, it will fold up a little bit better if it's a little bit more even, like as squares. I guess that's the one thing about having squares. So the next part with this is that after you make those fold lines, then you would take part of it and just cut into this shape here. So it's kind of like it'll go two down, like two panels down, one panel across, and then one panel up. So I'll just do that with mine, and I'll maybe just leave this here on the side in case it's helpful to look at that. And yeah, let me know if anyone has any questions. Like, I'll just use scissors for this. So I cut my structure, and then I'm going to fold it so that I feel like there's different ways of folding it that would work out. But I guess I tend to, like, for the zines that I made, I folded it so starting in the middle. I'll maybe put this to the side here. So starting in the middle and then just kind of folding it. So I'll just say, like, sometimes that it's I don't know how to describe it. I'll say to the right, and then away from me. Like, so this folding is going to be more or less like a zigzag or an accordion style, where you kind of keep alternating the direction that you're folding. So like, so that was away from me, and now it's sort of more inside or towards me. And then away, I guess. And then towards. Then away. I guess towards this way. And then lastly, away from me. So you'll end up with like this flat, relatively flat square. And then you could take a look to see how you feel about the way that the structure navigates, like if it feels right to you. Like sometimes if you dislike something about it, you could just fold one of the panels the opposite direction and see if that fixes it, or yeah, if it kind of changes things a bit. But anyways, oh yeah.
Do you find this particular one like prone to rip though, because it's cut in the middle? Like I feel like I would, like looking at it, I'd be afraid to rip through it.
Oh, to rip it. Yeah. I feel like maybe once it's cut and folded, like I feel like people, I don't know, maybe I feel like it doesn't rip so much. It's just maybe one thing might be that it'll kind of fall over, like it may fall open sometimes, like depending on how it's held. But I think because it's so small and compact, it may not necessarily, I don't know if it would rip. Maybe if someone, like I don't know, I've had these for a little while, and shown them to different people, and usually they seem to stay intact pretty well. This one's by an artist, Natalie Draz, and I guess I've had it for a while too, and I feel like, yeah, somehow it kind of ended up being very sturdy. Like, yeah, maybe you could tell people to be a bit careful with it, and yeah, not to handle too roughly. So, yeah. Yeah, I guess like, did anyone have any questions?